Welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the topic of why I think printing your images is one of the most important parts of photography, and if you have never printed an image and hung it up on your walls, you're probably missing out on one of the biggest joys within photography. What I'm also doing today is I'm just wandering around this local forest a bit and just trying to find any images. It's overcast today, it's been raining the night, so maybe there'll be some good pictures, but I really don't know. Like, it's a location I've been to before, and image opportunities are very scarce, and yeah, I don't know. Let's see. So first, a little bit about my background in photography. I started about 3 years ago, and naturally, because I didn't really know what kind of photography I'd be into yet, I would just do the easiest thing. Every time I would go out, I would just take my camera and basically snap pictures of everything that I thought was somewhat interesting. So the pictures I would take would usually be of buildings and such. Sometimes I would also somewhat lean into the street photography genre, and yeah, over the time my interest in different kinds of photography just progressed, and at some point I landed where I am today, which is I mostly do landscape and woodland photography. What I do now is I specifically dedicate time towards landscape and woodland photography, basically going out into the woods or into landscapes and not just snapping away at everything I see and find interesting, but I basically carefully try to look for compositions to not just snap an image but like create an image, even if that might sound a bit artsy. On the other hand, when I do travel photography, I take my camera everywhere I go and I just try to capture the moment to, basically just relive the experience that I had at a later date. About 1.5 years after starting photography, I realized that I had made a big improvement in comparison to when I just started out, and my photos started to get better. I realized that my sense of composition just improved, and it was basically like there was a switch just flipped in my brain. And the reason for that is because I stopped thinking about how my pictures would look if I post them on Instagram, but I started thinking about how they would look if I would frame them up and hang them up on my wall. So this switch made me way more careful and precise when composing my shots, to make me evaluate all the compositional techniques I know, and I'm basically just more in the moment rather than just being on autopilot when composing shots. Alright, so now I'm actually still in one of the first woodland shots I tried out, I guess. It's about 1.5 years ago actually, and this shot really wasn't that good. I'll just show it to you real quick. I actually really like the colors in the picture, but it has some flaws. First of all, there's this leading line, which was leading out of the picture, which, thinking back at it now, is kind of stupid. I don't know why I did that. And the ferns, they're, I guess, a little bit just past their best point. They're already looking a bit dead. The good thing was there was a lot of sunlight coming from that direction over there, which basically mean they're like golden because the sun was shining on them. And what I think I should have done actually is either concentrate on this portion of the picture or more on this portion of the picture. The problem was, as I said, the leading line that was leading out of the picture. But what I also wanted to include was this tree right here, because the texture on the tree I just really liked. I'll compose the shot again, I'll see what I can do now, but honestly I think you can see the ferns now, they're way past their best point, they're actually quite dead, and I also don't have any sunlight shining upon them, which makes them look very boring. I'll see what I can do anyway. Maybe I'll come back for the shot because I actually really like it. Sorry by the way if it's a bit noisy. There's a street right next to me here with a lot of cars driving on. Yeah. When I ordered my first prints and they actually arrived in the mail, I was super happy. I immediately framed them up and I hung them up on my living room wall, and now I get to see them every day, and every time I look at them it just pulls me right back into the moment of when I shot the images, captured them. And yeah, that's just a joyous part of photography that I don't think anybody should miss. Just think about how much time and thought you dedicate towards your photography. You plan your time to actually go out and shoot, and then when you're on location sometimes you wait up to a couple of hours to wait for the best light and just have the best shot framed up already. That's a lot of time. Then you come home, load the files up to your PC, edit them in Lightroom or whatever editor you use for maybe even a couple of hours, just to, after that, just export them and upload them to your Instagram account. You get a whole lot of likes on Instagram, which somewhat makes you happy maybe, but then you quickly forget about the picture you took and don't even look at it anymore. Maybe you'll see it once in a while when you don't have any internet anywhere and you're just scrolling through your picture folder because you're bored. Yeah, I'm saying this because this was me for the longest time. Even though the entire experience of going out, finding shots, composing the shots is a super fun experience, it really only is one half of the fun experience of photography, I think. The other one is reaping the benefits, having the pictures framed up, hung on your walls at home, and being able to look at them the entire time. And if you are not doing that, or if you don't have that experience, you're really missing half the fun of photography. All of that, of course, doesn't mean that you need to print every image you take. You really only should print your best work. Might that be 3 or 4 images a year? That's the case for me. Sometimes I'm thinking maybe I should up that number a little bit, but at some point you also don't have any space in your house anymore, and you might not want to take pictures down for other pictures, though you of course can do that. Having your images hanging on your walls gives you a way better perspective of photography, I think, because you actually look at the picture for quite some time. When you're on Instagram, for example, you basically all you do is double tap and keep swiping. Maybe you'll zoom in a little bit, but that's about it. You don't really think about it a lot. And if you have them hanging on your walls, like for me, I can obviously only speak from personal experience. I have the pictures hung on my walls, and I probably go there not every day, every couple of days, and I just look at the picture and thinking about the picture, and it really pulls me back into the moment when I captured them. Having this perspective of what looks good when it's printed out makes you a way better photographer, in my opinion, because you usually think about that when you're capturing an image. You're actively thinking about that. And maybe a shot that you thought was very well exposed because you're looking at it on a high definition super bright monitor is actually a little underexposed, and you only see that when you actually have the image printed out. I'm really out of breath. I just had to walk up this very steep hill twice. It's the first time I put my camera on the foot of the hill filming up. I'll show you, because I thought it would look cool, and I walked up here to see if there's anything interesting here, but I was thinking there's probably nothing interesting here anyway. I'll just go back down and go in a different direction. Now I'm up here, and I actually find this is quite a cool change of pace, because down there in the valley where I just was, there are a lot of fallen leaves from all the dead trees, or all the barren trees, because it's winter. And yeah, I had to walk back down, get the camera, and walk back up. So I am hoping that I'll find some good compositions here. So I may or may not have found cool images, I'm not sure yet. I'll see at home if it was worth it walking up the hill twice. I actually had to walk a little further, up another hill and down this hill here, and now came up here because I wanted to see, because I really like these trees right there and some trees over there as well. And I really like the shape of them. The problem is the sky is, as you can see, overcast, and a white sky usually doesn't really look great in pictures. So I thought I'd just walk up here and try to have the meadow as a background behind the trees. Problem is the trees are a little too tall, and even though I'm up here quite elevated, the trees, well, the sky is still in the background of the trees. So I opted for a black and white shot, which I haven't done in a while. Yeah, I'll see at home if the shot looks great. You'll see now, I'll show you real quick. So I really hope that I could convince you with this video to start printing your images if you haven't already. Not just to improve your photography, your sense of composition and all that, but really just to enjoy photography to its fullest, because that's honestly what it's there for. this is it for me for today. I really hope that you liked this little video. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And tell me in the comments down below, have you already printed your work, or are you planning to print your work in the future? I can definitely advise you and recommend doing it. As I said in this video, it's improved my photography, and it just gives me more joy, or gets me more joy out of photography. Yeah. Anyway, if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to the channel. I upload regularly every other Friday. Yeah, that's it from me for today. Have a good one. Bye.